I believe that this whole thing is a bad look on Deion Sanders, one of the greatest players of all time, after his emotional responses on social media has also looked bad, because it's a lot of hypocrisy being thrown out here right now about what's going on with this kid. And you cannot, as I've been saying, criticize this family or these players in that family without being called a hater. I've never seen a shit like this in my life. I've never seen a more protected kid that's super mid than over Shedeur Sanders. I've never not seen it. Haven't seen it. We love Deion Sanders. I love Deion Sanders. We love him. I get it, homie. But that's not the truth. The truth of the matter is we got to critique and judge a quarterback in the NFL. And when you do so, like Dan Orlovsky did last night, Deion goes to Twitter and talks and says he's a hater. I think that's a bad look. So Dan Orlovsky can't even have an opinion anymore. And I'm not, you know me, I'm hot at Dan right now. Dan makes a prediction, makes a claim, stakes his name on it, and Deion calls him a hater. And because the prime sexuals come in, oh, Dan turned into a hater, man. Hate to see it. Yes, he did. Wow, Deion says. But I want to know, Smitty, real quick. Again, Marcus Spears goes on social media or goes on live last night and says this. I don't know if you've heard it, but
first of all, we all sit up here and we have an affinity for these guys, and we don't want to shed a bad light on them. We react to what we see.
But it's our job.
And
it's our job.
What I'm about to say, Dan, nothing about Shedeur pops off the tape.
Right.
And when we start talking about quarterbacks where you taking them to be franchise changers and you think that they can be guys to take you into the next 10, 15 years, he hasn't proven that he can be that guy yet. Now, then it becomes, all right, our conversation shifts to development, because we've all had that conversation. Where do you think this dude's ceiling is if he's not there right now? Since he's not giving us anything to say, okay, this trait or this characteristic takes him above what we see him lacking. That's the issue with Shedeur.
Can he become Geno Smith?
Exactly. And when you ask your question, when you ask as an organization that question, does Geno Smith really get you excited? No. It doesn't.
I think
it's a good starter, but it's not a guy that you think is going to put you in competition to win big games.
It looks bad, homie, because Deion needs to come out and say, Marcus, you a hater now. Because if you're not, don't say it, homie. It's a fucking hypocrisy at its finest. And this is all we've been seeing for the last 2 years. One-sided takes, homie, by a group protecting the Sanders family out of emotion, not factual opinions from professionals. Is Marcus Spears going to be called out now by Deion? That's what I want to know today, homie. Are the prime sexuals going to call out Marcus Spears today and not just come at JB and Dan Orlovsky? Let's be real, homie. So we got an opinion. Two guys that played the position and a lineman on the same network, and they, all of them, saying the same shit. So I'm curious, homie. Are we going to continue to talk about this and call out Marcus Spears today? Because I ain't heard it yet. I ain't seen it. I want to see Deion come out and tweet and say, damn, Marcus, why you hating? Because that's the narrative, homie. He's a hater. So it's funny how that shit works. I'm so glad Marcus Spears had the balls to go out there and say the truth. And the truth is the kid's just not very good. We got to put emotion aside. I also feel for the kid yesterday slipping when he had to go put a video out there addressing his fans that showed up, and it looked embarrassing. I had secondhand embarrassment for Shedeur Sanders last night as he addressed that shit, and they filmed it. I would have done that as a grown man and said, man, it is what it is. I got to strap up, fucking get ready to go. It's more motivation, fuels the fire. As Smitty said, I'm going to go out here and go grind. Did this humble you to go get better, as Nick Saban said live? Because it don't matter where you get selected, Smitty. If you get your foot in the door and get an opportunity that you and I would have loved to have on that day,
100%.
he would have said, fuck it, let's go grind and get the job done. I'm curious, does this fuel him to put away the chain, the Bentley, the bullshit.
No, see, that's where we disagree. That's where I disagree.
Because you don't macro think, homie.
I don't need to put my cane away in my nice car because y'all feel uncomfortable that I got money and then that I'm
I'm not comfortable.
I'm gonna go out here and bust my ass. And develop my game. That's how I prove myself. What I wear, the chains I wear, the car I drive doesn't need to change to make you feel better because you ain't got it. That's where I disagree. I'm with you on everything else you said.
All right, now keep that energy.
I gotta step in for that though.
Keep that energy.
It's my check, so who cares?
Keep that energy. Here's my point. Why do we give a fuck? See, that's the problem. See, everybody last night come at me, y'all. Shedeur has more money than everybody in this chat. Y'all hating on this kid. I give a fuck how much money this kid has. I really do. It doesn't bother. It doesn't make me none. Because at the end of the day, Smitty and I are supposed to be talking about him on the football field and where he gets drafted and what he does in the NFL.
Let's talk about that.
But I could give a fuck about his chains, his money, etc. The fact of the matter is, are you going to put that shit aside and become the quarterback that we want to discuss and break down, or is it always going to be something else?